Yo, 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 what up? We're about to go over the Logan Paul's crypto scam allegations. To be completely honest with you guys, I was already about to watch this and I was like, man, this is an hour long. This is going to be a big old waste of my time. So I thought, you know what? Let me just watch this with my YouTube family so that at the very least we can get some content out of it, right? And become informed on these crypto pump and dumps that are going on in the world right now. How are you guys doing though? Um, Hopefully you're doing well. I'm doing pretty good. The new year is starting off quite well. Definitely having a good start to the year. How about you guys? How's your year going so far? Hopefully pretty good. I'm going to begin super soon, so don't worry. I'm just actually getting some work done as well. That's what's fun about streaming is that you can do multiple things at once. So I can actually sneak in a little bit of work while I'm hanging out with you guys, which is pretty fun actually. That's what I like most about it. It's very relaxed. It's a different vibe than just um just normal YouTube videos. So yeah, I will get this started. I'm chatting with my team. Um, I'm also doing a quick checkup. So maybe I'll ask you guys while we wait for a few more people to get in here. But I'm actually about to um, let me just show you quick. I'm testing out a different sort of thumbnail style, or we are, because we're a big old team now. Just kidding, we're still a small team, but we're doing a lot of different tests here on YouTube, and I actually really like this kind of style. So I might continue to test this style more. What do you guys think? Do you guys think this here? I'll go to my channel so you can more clearly see what I'm talking about. But basically what I'm thinking is that this thumbnail style just looks a little bit cleaner, or maybe more enticing at least. What do you guys think? I think it's more click worthy. What do you guys like better, this style of thumbnail, the new one we're testing, or let's say like these, right? This is just like the normal style that I always do. Let me know. Let me know, guys. What do you think? Which thumbnail is the best out of all these? And then we'll get started. The new one? Okay, so people like the new ones. So you like this one? How about anyone else? I know we got some more people in here, so what's up, Michael? Nice to meet you. Yeah, the other ones are not that attention grabbing no more. So people do. So you're saying this new one is more attention grabbing. I agree. This one actually, I think it actually looks cleaner even as well. So I think we might try to stick to this template. It reminds me a little more of Mr. Beast and, these types of click worthy thumbnails. Even though these look cleaner in some ways, they're actually not cleaner, and I think this one is much better. Okay, two people voted for the new ones as opposed to the old type of thumbnails. Let's hear some more opinions. New one. Ari, you're the goat. Nah, you're the goat. You guys are the goats. Okay, so for now, we'll say the new ones win. Now, let's get to watching this because, yeah, I just really want to watch this. And I want to watch it with you guys. So this is Logan Paul addressing some of the crypto allegations that have been, or crypto scam allegations that have been made against them. I don't know if you guys have seen the CoffeeZilla, the CoffeeZilla videos. They're pretty dang good. I would definitely watch them if I were you. It just sheds a lot of light on some pretty suspicious and, I guess scammy behavior in the celebrity NFT world, which is no surprise. Now, I want to see what Logan Paul actually has to say about this. Oh, wait. There we go.
If you are tuning in just now and you missed the tail end of December, a lot had happened. I believe the last Boys Only episode we were on, I said some pretty harsh things to George about his beliefs and religion overall that people were unhappy about. And the following week, a YouTuber named CoffeeZilla made a 3-part series that he had spent a year making called Investigating Logan Paul's Biggest Scam. That caught a lot of traction. He put a lot of work into it, and it was a very well-made series. So today I'll be going on record for the first time in over a year to talk about the
I'm really excited to see what he says.
Crypto Zoo, and then what we're doing to move forward. If you have not seen the video that I also released in tandem today with this episode, it's essentially a statement that I made about the scam allegations and the scam accusations, because that's some pretty serious shit. I take that very seriously. So if you have not watched that video, I ask you to do that first. But it is a little difficult to dive into it because we know you guys watch Impulsive for fun, laughs, giggles.
This will be interesting.
Like the guests we have on our show. And today we're going to be talking about some pretty serious stuff. So if you're not tuned into it,
we'll see what he says.
Maybe this isn't the episode for you, but it's time this stuff is addressed, and today's the episode for that.
I think by mid episode we'll get into some other stuff, but obviously like this has to be handled, and it's been a rocky end of 2022 and a rocky start for the beginning of 2023. I'm sure tremendously for you, but also for anybody on this team. I'm going to try to take the reins of the opposing viewpoint today, as I generally do on the show. I'm going to ask you a lot of questions that may be, I don't know, easy, hard to answer, whatever. Obviously, you asked Coffee to be on. It was something that he didn't want to do.
Can I give context?
You going to Noah's event next week? I kind of want to. I do want to. I don't have a plane ticket though, but I may get one quick.
I know.
Did you send them to him?
That would be really fun.
You send them to him, and then I'm sure probably maybe you have some. Anyways, let me give some context to this situation. CryptoZoo is a blockchain project that I created about a year and a half ago, and the question everyone's going to be asking is why now? Why talk about this series or this project right now? So again, this YouTuber named CoffeeZilla released a 3-part series. He spent a year making it, and I'll be honest, it was very good. He is entertaining, and he's a very good storyteller. I mean, essentially, if you're making content on YouTube, I assume it's to get views and to get people watching your stuff. I get what he's doing. If you put my name in the title and you label it Logan Paul Scam, you're going to get more views. The problem with it is that's
That's
not
what I'm
true.
doing.
And I've made tweets here and there stating my case, but I'm going to give some context with the back and forth that I've had with CoffeeZilla. So here are some receipts. Again, just for context.
That's interesting.
Steven, the first time he reached out to
what
me,
I think is a little bit I guess you could say, funny about Logan Paul. I mean, obviously, these are very serious allegations. He's right about that. But what I find interesting is how he goes on this point of how people are using him for views when, like, I mean, that's what he does. You know, he uses different things for views. Like, he is on that same grind. So I don't know. That's not a good enough point to discredit all the scam allegations, in my opinion. But watch the YouTube video in full screen. Okay, sure. I'm trying to make this chat box into a white color. I think it looks better that way. Oh, that looks so much better. So this is you guys. This is the chat from you. Do you see it on the screen? It looks kind of cool. I like it. Hey, I finally fixed it, guys. We finally did it. So now we have a live chat on the video. This is cool.
He was on Christmas Eve after he released his series. He sent a misleading email as
Drop a
highlighted
quick like on the
in my
video, by the way.
statement. He invited me on his show to come talk about CryptoZoo. I chose not to do that because it is now clear to me that he's milking this. Again, why would he not? This is big for him. He caught a lot of traction. He gained like 500,000 subscribers. And I'm sure he got a decent amount of money pumping his Patreon. But I am not interested in feeding into that anymore. So we'll be answering the questions that hopefully he was going to ask me and that you're going to ask me today on this podcast. I invited him on Impulsive multiple times and he has not responded. My email to him on December 27th.
Oh, he's dropping receipts.
Since this entire narrative has unfolded on your platform, I can't imagine you'd mind having this discussion with me on mine. Of course, we wouldn't monetize. This episode of Impulsive is scheduled for January 2nd in LA. We can consider a neutral location if you respond to this email by the weekend. Best logs. He did not respond to me. So I tweeted that saying I hadn't heard back, so I'd be releasing a statement. And then he sent me an email after I called him out and a text, which I thought was weird, like a cold text. Hey, Logan, recently got your number. This is CoffeeZilla. I'm forwarding the same message I sent to your email here as well. Hey, Logan, I saw your tweet saying I haven't responded, but that isn't accurate. I asked you for a comment multiple times over the course of a year. You refused. I invited you on my platform. You refused. You invited me on Impulsive. I refused. We're unfortunately at an impasse, so let me try to get us unstuck here because I think people deserve to hear from both of us. I'd like to offer you a co-live streamed interview about CryptoZoo to respond on tomorrow at 10 a.m. PST, so no one has to travel on the holidays, so there's no editing and just us talking one-on-one. This is the most fair and neutral way to do this. I will send you a video link if you agree. Here was my response. I sent him an email.
True. If there's 30 people watching, there should be 30 likes, guys. That's just simple math. I agree with that statement. But his career won't be affected. I never followed Logan for financial advice. It was mostly for entertainment. Yeah, that is a good point too. I mean, I feel like this could have really happened to anybody, and it did happen to a lot of people, right? A lot of the NFT collections that dropped, that made all these promises to basically allow you to make money through them, and they turned out to be completely false claims. In fact, people lost a lot of money. There's no shortage of collections like that. In fact, 99.9% of the NFT collections out there and crypto projects have turned out to be rug pulls. Maybe not rug pulls in the traditional sense that they were made to be a scam from the beginning, but they were definitely trying to get rich quick and through, the hype of NFTs, and they weren't able to actually add any tangible value to their product. So as much as, I'm impartial on this, I think to Logan Paul's defense, this could have happened to anybody, and a lot of people, even in the e-com, even in all sorts of spaces, right, have had really bad NFT projects that they just don't really affiliate with anymore. So I think that could have happened to anyone, but that still doesn't discredit the fact that, this did turn out to be a really kind of misleading towards investors, you could say. And he didn't address any of these things until just now, even though the project is like a year old. So I guess that's my biggest complaint. But that's both sides of the story right there.
After I posted my statement. Hey, Steven, just wanted to put my response to your scam allegations on your radar, linked below. Even though you broke laws, hardly substantiated your evidence, fabricated dangerously misleading falsehoods, and wrongfully accused me of scamming my fans, I'd still love to host you on Impulsive, again, unmonetized. It can even be one-on-one. Sorry, boys. I'm interested in talking about your workflow, creative process, and of course, CryptoZoo. I did get your email 2 days ago after I called out your failure to respond on Twitter regarding the live stream invitation, and you said, I asked you for comment multiple times over the course of a year. You refused. Any proof of that, or is this another lie? I searched my emails and didn't see any outreach from you until Christmas Eve 2022. You scrubbed the blockchain for a living and somehow managed to text my personal phone number yesterday. I can't imagine you didn't know / have my professional email. I do agree people deserve to hear from both of us, but truthfully, now that your motives are clear, I don't feel like feeding into your hunger for clout on your platforms. You've profited off of and gained plenty from me. I've said everything I've needed to say. The rest will be handled legally.
This is a very zesty response.
You while we continue to build CryptoZoo. The holidays are over, so I look forward to hearing back in a timely fashion this time. My January schedule is packed. Best, logs.
Why did you sign off as logs, by the way? There was a lot of shit for that.
I saw that.
Maybe,
I think it's easy to pick apart anything I do.
And people are, for sure. It's been happening the entire time.
That's my sign off. I've been signing off like that since high school.
Like
my nickname, everyone calls me Logs. My name is Logan. Yeah. My nickname is Log.
Listen, I said I'm going to play the other side. The other side's asking why Logs. Okay. Can we, besides all the correspondence, that's a lot of correspondence.
That's where we left off, and I do think it's important because, and if you watch my video, hopefully you're seeing this. The guy is good. He is a very good storyteller, and he is very, very manipulative. Very manipulative, and he's good. He's built an entire career off it. Sometimes he's more impartial than not. I think he probably has an inherent bias against me, which
this sounds almost like someone's projecting here. He's very manipulative, very good at getting attention, entertaining, handsome. I'm just kidding, but I get why he's taking. I mean, of course, these are big claims. I get it, and the videos did so well. I think that's why Logan is so pissed off. Is that the videos did so well. I think if the videos had gotten like 100K views, he would not be reacting this way. Of course, it's because they're actually, killing it, and a lot of people are picking this apart. Logan looking like Tanjiro from Demon Slayer. Dude, you are right. That was a good eye. I didn't even realize that.
Which is reflective in his work, in his piece, which unfortunately has repercussions. If you are perpetuating falsehood and it's affecting someone's business and reputation, and it's affecting the wrong person's business and reputation, that person may take action.
So let's right off the bat, as early as possible here, talk about the two definitions and the two things that are at play. One of them being a scam, the other one being defamation, which can be libel or slander. So if someone scams a person or an organization, they deceive them in order to get something valuable for them, especially money. That is the definition of scam. So
that's exactly what happened.
My first question, and this question was answered in his series. It was a 5-second blip that was a part of a probably hour-long of documentary, filmmaking, was how much money did you make off the sale of the coin? Or off CryptoZoo as a project? How much money did you make?
Yeah, this seems to be the biggest misconception, and it is disappointing that part was glossed over so quickly. Made no money off CryptoZoo. Never sold the token. Jeff never sold the token. Only lost money trying to make things right, along with everyone else in the project.
Well, that's not true, because in his last video, I should have maybe played that before this, but he said that the people that he hired that ended up being scammers, they did actually make a lot of money. Like, one of the guys made like 6 million off of this. The other guy made like almost 2 million off of this. So sure, he didn't make money off of it, but the other guys on the team did. So that doesn't not make it a scam, just because he wasn't able to make money from it doesn't make the thing is not a scam. Other people did make money from it, and a lot of money from it, and that could have easily been Logan. I mean, I get his point. It's like, okay, well, I didn't sell, so it's not technically a scam, but that doesn't not make it a scam.
No money was made. No tokens were sold. And CoffeeZilla even said that in his series. So to answer your question, yeah. No money was made by Jeff or I.
And just back to the flip side really quick. To me, once I heard that seemed just like a kill shot to this entire thing.
Now I'll play the other side.
Sure, and I know what you're going to say. There's a ton more. It's very complex. There's a lot of
no. I empathize. I totally.
That's just bad logic. I'm sorry, but that doesn't actually make this whole thing better. I mean, it may make the victims feel a little better knowing that maybe Logan didn't make anything off of it, but other people did. So it's still pretty messed up. Like, you know, I think what's his face, Mike, is just playing, like, he's obviously trying to help Logan out in this situation, but I feel like he's a smart guy, and he probably could deduce that that's not really a good point if he wasn't trying to defend Logan. But again, in Logan's defense, I will say, I think this could have, and not just could have, this did happen to a lot of people. Like, a lot of NFT collections did really badly because the hype was so strong that so many people got shiny object syndrome and built collections and made a lot of money, like, in the short term, but then they weren't able to continue to bring value to the people that invested in those projects. Like, I'm telling you guys, 99.9% of projects were like that. I'm really happy that, you know, I didn't get sucked into that. I did get sucked into that a little bit. Like, I was starting to work on some NFT stuff, and it all fizzled out because I was way too busy, and I'm actually grateful for it because, again, I do think this could happen to anybody, and it has happened to a lot of people, a lot of influencers that we just don't really, it hasn't really surfaced yet. A lot of people are trying to sweep these things under the rug. And I think some of the accountability does fall on the investors. Like, you know, NFT projects are definitely not probably the best thing to invest in, but I understand why they did it. Like, there was so much hype around it. You kind of trust this celebrity, right? You think, oh, their audience is so strong. This project is surely going to go to the moon. There's no way Logan Paul's going to stop promoting this product, right? But he did, and that's why it all fell apart. And yeah, I agree that this is a little lame that he's not taking any responsibility for it. I think this, like, legal action take that he's going for is just not, it's kind of an L. Like, I feel like he got persuaded by his manager to do that. I don't think this is the best way to respond to some internet beef, to, like, sue somebody. Like, that's just, I don't think that's good.
Totally see why people are frustrated. I'm fucking frustrated. I've been frustrated for over a year. So I'll let you keep going. And again, while we made no money on the project, which I think kills the scam narrative immediately, there is more explaining to do.
What was your intent with CryptoZoo as a project?
I really thought it was going to be the next big thing. It was my first foray into creating a project on the blockchain. My intent was to make the next Pokemon, essentially, you know, on the blockchain. It was.
I agree. By the way, so some people in the chat are saying that Luca Nets did it right. Some people are saying he didn't, and that it's gonna fall. But I do think Pudgy Penguins is a great project. I think he's actually gonna actually make that one a massive success. I mean, it already has been. It's one of the top projects right now, even in the bear market. It's actually pumping. So that does say a lot. Just imagine once the hype comes back, if the hype comes back, that's a big if. We don't really know. You know, for all we know, NFTs are just gonna go away. But I don't think so, because there's way too much money to be made there. It's just that people are very, I mean, to be fair, this Logan stuff definitely puts a lot of NFTs in like the limelight, so it's gonna be harder probably in the near future. But in the long term, NFTs can make a ton of money, so I don't think they're gonna die down. And I think Luca is very well positioned to take Pudgy Penguins to the moon. I interviewed him, so I feel like I got a good understanding of his mindset and intentions, and I just feel like he's actually gonna make it, like he's gonna take it to like 9 figures.
It was purely good. I put 7 months of my time, energy, effort, all of it into this project. And when shit hit the fan, it was devastating. It was heartbreaking. I never acted with malintention. I mean,
This is like I believe him, but the problem is that he never addressed it. He just swept it under the rug. That's what he doesn't like. I think that's what's not clicking in his head, is like that people are upset that he just abandoned the project, you know?
again, like what was the intent to make money? I mean, I guess maybe eventually, like if you're running a business, I'd assume any intent is to make money off of it. But like, did we ever capitalize financially off of this? Absolutely fucking not.
For people that aren't aware, can you describe the dynamic between the token and the game?
Okay. So the idea was this. Yeah, maybe I should give some context to what the game is. So you buy these eggs on the blockchain, and you can hatch them into what are called base animals. I think there were like 14 or 15 of them, and then you can breed.
He's
your
protecting
base
himself
animals
legally.
with each other to create fun.
It is what it is. That's actually a good point. That actually is a good point. That is why he's explaining things in this context. Because actually, I didn't really think about that till just now, that he's probably pretty scared that he's actually going to be charged by the SEC. So this is actually not a bad way to respond, I guess, in that case. But I don't know. I still feel like this isn't the right approach. I think he's not taking the right approach here. It's like people are so bad at apology videos, and he didn't really apologize for anything. He's just like, yeah, well, these are false allegations.
That have a rarity
right.
scale. If you hatch a rare animal and you breed it with another rare animal, and it yields a rare hybrid animal, that animal then yields and collects a token the longer you hold it. Then when you release it into the wild, you accrue your yield. Does that make sense? That was the concept.
Got it.
And it was based off the idea that people could create these fun animals that didn't exist. And this was another part of CryptoZoo that got ripped apart. People seem to really discount the art, which I felt truthfully wasn't fair.
I was kind of in the middle on that one. It was
Do
very.
you know how?
Okay,
Do you
it was
know how
very
hard
basic.
It is?
Yes, I
Do you
know.
know how hard it is
to
to merge animals that do exist into an animal that doesn't exist and make it look like a real animal?
I'm gonna
like
ask
like
you-
I'll just say it right now, bro. If you take an animal from CryptoZoo and like a fucking picture of a monkey wearing a hat and go ask like someone on the street, like, hey, which of these is more captivating to you? Something tells me the animal that doesn't exist that looks like a real hybrid animal is probably gonna win.
Even if someone out there is skeptical or hesitant to call it some sort of insane artistic expression, they at least probably have to agree that it falls within industry, like in the area of industry standards for NFTs at the time. I mean, look at some of the other projects. I mean, shout out Gary, but like, dude, like Gary's.
How dare you?
I'm
Do
just
not
saying, bro.
Fucking insult V friends.
Or Doodles or whatever. I mean, whatever project you want to bring up.
That's
right
why
now,
I
whether
found,
it's whether
that's
it's
why I
apes
found
or whatever.
This, that's why I found this argument a little. I felt wasn't quite fair. I'll listen to him, but like, man, if you were to interview and ask my artist what they thought of people just ripping their work to shreds, and by the way, some of them do this.
This is fun, guys. I'm not gonna lie. This is great. I'm getting some work done over here. I'm watching the podcast that I wanted to watch already, but it was gonna be a huge waste of time if I just watched it on my own without doing anything. This is great. But yeah, I mean, I think you guys made a great point when you said that he's just really trying to like approach this from a legal manner and trying to really cover his tracks as much as possible. But I know what bothers me is that he's just like not apologizing about anything. He's just like, yeah, like I got screwed too, guys. Like I was one of the people that got screwed. But the problem is that he never addressed any of these things. And you know what it reminds me of? This is actually a great lesson for myself, for you guys, for anybody. I recently saw on the My First Million podcast the interview of Ben McFarlane, I think. He's the Fire Festival guy. He went to jail for like 5 years. And in the interview, they said, bro, why did you keep defrauding investors? And he's like, I didn't want to. I just didn't know what I was doing. And I just, like, it all blew up in my face. And I never wanted to ask for help. I never wanted to stop pretending like I knew what I was doing. So that's kind of like, it's a big lesson. That's what he did. He swept this under the rug. He didn't want to admit that he had failed or that he got scammed or that he did something bad or that he took an L, right? He didn't want to take the L. And because of that, now it's blowing up in his face even more. So the lesson here is be honest. Obviously, don't try to be something you're not. Don't do this fake it till you make it thing. It's not going to work. And just ask for help. Like if something goes wrong, this would have not like nobody would care about this as much if he would have addressed this, 7 months ago. If 7 months ago, he would have been like, hey guys, I apologize for, I take full responsibility. This was my project. We got scammed. The people that we hired ended up being bad actors. I apologize. We'll try to make this right. Like if you would have done this 7 months ago, this would not be happening, right? But the fact of the matter is he didn't, because he just wanted to be this like super, appear as this I can only win type of person. And now it's like coming back to bite him. So this is a really big lesson, in my opinion, especially for those of you out there that are trying to build some sort of personal brand, is like, don't be afraid to make mistakes and like ask for help and admit your mistakes and reflect on them. That's what I'm learning from this so far.
Post actively on Reddit hybrid animals, and the hybrid animals thread on Reddit is hilarious and has a bunch of likes and people commenting on it. But the moment that I say it's something that I'm doing, it doesn't work in that context.
I think it was shined in a bad light. I think if it didn't have the negative outline on it, people wouldn't.
No. That was the first
For
critique
sure,
that
for
happened.
sure.
I actually have I want to ask you something. Again, I'm just throwing out other people's point of views. I'm not trying to stick
No, you should.
Oh,
You
okay,
should
well, I'm gonna stick it into you. When I'm looking at this from my point of view, bro, I think you guys are kind of like, you're seeing it from your guys' point of view, which is obvious because it's your point of view, and you are not a scammer. You don't hurt people. You don't do these type of things. So it's gonna affect your heart because you didn't do that. And for the world to look at you in that type of way, it's very drowning. It feels like you can't breathe because people are already painting you out to be something you're not. But put a pin in that. Over here are people that root for you, that look at you like somebody they want to be like, they want to achieve like. And so when they invested in your project, and they're remember, they don't have our lifestyle, so they're working paycheck to paycheck, paycheck to paycheck. So when they go, fuck yeah, Logan's involved in this, I know it's going to win because I've watched this guy win, and I want to be like this fucking guy. So I'm going to invest my hard-earned money. From their point of view, I get your guys' point of view because you're dealing with a legal team, you're dealing with all the people that did you wrong. But from their stance, they go, how dare you go and open up 2 other projects when I just wasted my hard-earned money on something that I believed you would do.
This is actually a George dub right here. This is a really good take.
This is a point of view that they don't care what you feel like and what CoffeeZilla feels like. They want to demand answers for their own money.
100%.
So what do you say to the
Facts.
people that watched you make
Logan's this guy's actually a good friend. You can
and
tell.
all other projects.
That's what a good friend does right here. Because what Mike was doing, no offense, I'm sure Mike is great too. I don't know any of these guys, so I'm just judging based off of impulsive. But the other guy was like, yeah, you're not a scammer. You didn't make any money from this. That's a stupid take, right? Like, that's just making it worse, in my opinion. This guy's like, look, Logan, like, the reason why people are upset is this. Address this, you know?
How does it feel for you in your seat where your team saying, hey, shut up, don't bring this up. We're going to bring this back in the future and all the answers will be explained. How does it feel knowing that you couldn't speak up in time and now you look like this villain, and no disrespect, you look like a piece of shit to the people that are like, yo, fuck this guy sitting on millions of dollars, always trying to get attention. And now he doesn't give a fuck about us, so he's not going to speak out about it until this other fucking dude's going to speak out. And now this cocksucker is going to talk now.
He nailed it.
Great question.
Couldn't have said it better.
The answer is fucking heartbreaking, George. I'll get emotional even speaking about it just now, right now, but this is what broke me. People relied on me to create a project, and when shit wasn't working out and I found out the extent of just how bad things were behind the scenes, I had to rely on my team. I crumbled internally, and the advice was, while actual legal process was going on because of criminal investigation taking place that CoffeeZilla highlighted in his series, I had to stay silent. And for a fucking year,
that's such cap.
Hounding Jeff. How do we make this right? What's the status of the game?
But they
Where
don't
are
see
we
that.
at?
They don't see that. That's crazy.
The engineer stole the code.
But see, he continues to not address it. That's what George is saying. He's like, they didn't see that. So why didn't it happen? I mean, it just sounds like now Logan's like, I try to tell Jeff, I try to tell this guy, but what he doesn't realize is that these people are all his employees. So he is the guy in charge. He's the guy that needs to take responsibility for it. So you can say, well, Jeff didn't tell me this and that, but where's your accountability? That's what people have a problem with. This is actually a great lesson again on being a CEO. So this is relevant to me. I have a team. I have people that I employ. I have clients that I do work for. If somebody does something bad, sure, I could blame it on them and say, oh, sorry guys, this guy was just really bad. But that also reflects badly on me because I hired them. So you just need to take accountability for everything as a leader. Everything that happens under your leadership is your responsibility, and you need to take accountability for it. So I don't George is hired by doing good here.
Fucking con man, a guy that I found out to be a con man, a guy that I had trusted, not just a guy that I had trusted, a guy that billionaires had trusted, a guy that fooled the Mormon Church and the New York Yankees. And now in hindsight, 1 + 1 = fucking 2. I get that. And the advisor, again, that I trusted was selling against my buyers, people that actually wanted to play this game. It was like a mountain. It was like a mountain that collapsed one after the other after the other. This massive forest fire would come up. I thought we put it out, and then something else would happen, and something else would happen, and then my legal team goes, yo, there is criminal investigation going on. It is best to stay silent at this moment.
Mm. So I have another question. I understand your point of view because I'm your friend. I actually was with you when you found out, and I saw how your face turned white and you slid up against the fridge when you found out.
Logan's a smart man. He knows 1 + 1 = 2. Yo, you guys are funny. Connor said your breakdown is super entertaining. It feels like I'm watching an edited video. Thanks, man. I appreciate that, actually. And this is why I enjoy streaming. It's actually a really fun time for me as well. I'm having a lot of fun right now because I wanted to watch this anyways. But, man, Logan is lucky to have George around, but he doesn't listen to him enough. I don't know why. He just doesn't take his opinion seriously or something. That's what it seems like to me. It seems like whatever George is saying, he kind of he hears it, but he doesn't internalize it. Because George is right in this situation. It seems like he understands both sides really well. Do I believe him, Ari? Yeah, I actually do believe Logan didn't mean to harm anyone with this. I do think he was trying to get rich off of it and make a lot of money, of course. I mean, that's what all these NFT projects are doing, right? Nobody begins an NFT project without the intention of making money. So I believe he was trying to make money. I do believe he thought he was building something cool, but I think obviously he wasn't diligent enough with the process of it all happening, right? He delegated everything in a bad way. Obviously, it's coming back to bite him now, and he's now pinning all this on the bad actors when in reality, he's the one that hired them. So he should be taking accountability. That's basically my take on this. Is I do believe him. I don't think he's lying about this, but what I don't like is that he's just not taking accountability. He hasn't said sorry to people once. He hasn't really, taken the L is basically what I'm saying. It's like he's just kind of making others take an L. And then he's saying, oh, well, I am taking an L. I didn't make any money. But that's not the point. That's not the point. Obviously, he was trying to make a lot of money. It didn't work out, but other people made money under him through this. And a lot of his fans got scammed. So he should take full accountability. And he has not. That is my take so far. Actually, cool to see you on the stream. I posted on your videos. Love your in-depth breakdowns. Thank you. Yeah, well, a lot of my videos lately have actually been clips from streams, ironically. So that's sort of the content strategy I'm trying to adopt this year, is to just stream more and hang out with you guys closely and also make content through it. Because as you said, it's more entertaining. It's more real. It feels more like I'm actually hanging out with people as opposed to just by myself in a room talking to a camera, which I am doing, but I'm broadcasting it. So it just, I don't know. It's just like it's a different vibe in my opinion. I don't know why.
I was there. So that's why I could boldly with my chest out be like, bro, I watched when this guy found the news. But fuck CoffeeZilla, fuck you. No joke. What do we do for the people that were fucked?
I and my team, Jeff, and I'd like you to sit in, Jeff, are working. We are at work and have been working to make this game. And that's part of the solution. Deliver the fucking project, right? And that's never stopped. There have been massive road bumps and massive obstacles along the way. But that was always the prerogative. CoffeeZilla making a series or not, the game is being made. He just assumed we gave up on it, which is not true. However, the answer is yes, George. I'm not a fucking scammer. I have the best intentions, and I will make this right for the people who believed in me. You know how adamant I was about fixing all of this and making this right.
Sure.
And for a year, I was told I couldn't say anything. And then CoffeeZilla series came out, and I fucking called you guys, and I said, I'm making a statement. I don't give a fuck.
Yep.
I spent days writing this thing, figuring out how I could poke the obvious holes in CoffeeZilla's defamation and arguments and manipulation of this story, because at the end of the day, he told a story. Some of it's true, some of it's not. I don't know what to believe from his stuff, and I don't know what not to believe. I found out stuff. I found out things watching his series. Like, dude, I was at the airport when I watched the part where he said Jake's had stolen.
Of course. I was like, what?
$6 million. I don't know if that's true or not, but I knew he was a bad actor, hence why we kicked him off the fucking team immediately when we found out he was only in it for the money.
Prerogatives, yeah. Things fucking fell apart from Zach to...
Yeah, well, I don't... okay, that's one thing I don't believe him that much on, is that they've been working on this game ever since it failed. I do think had he not gotten called out, he probably would have swept this under the rug. Like, he probably just would have swept it under the rug, forgotten about it, moved on to his 99 Originals project, his Prime Hydration project, and then just forgotten about it. So I think he's saying that now for legal reasons, of course. I think now he's like, no, we have been working on this, guys. Don't worry. We've been working on this. It's not like we just abandoned the project or something. Who would do that? That's a scam, right? That's kind of the approach that's how I see it right now. But, I can't help but feel a little sorry for him. Part of me does feel a little bad that, this is all blowing up in his face. But on the other hand, I do agree with a lot of you as well that this is not going to affect him negatively that much. I think if anything, he might get like an SEC charge of like a few million, but he's gaining a lot of clout through this. And, now with all this clout, maybe he will make some money off of CryptoZoo. it almost does seem like a CryptoZoo plug. Haha, yeah, streaming is a cool concept, can get addicting. Have you done any dropshipping streams? Would love to see that. I have. I have done some streams. Love the stream. How do I start a legal e-commerce dropshipping business in the USA, including verifying it in different states, and how much money do I need? That's a fully loaded question, bro. But I will say, just start a Shopify store, start a Shopify free trial. Link in the description for $1 a month plan. Pretty special deal. And then you can use a company like LegalZoom, Inkfile, My Company Works to register your business under a US address, and they can set you up with a virtual office. And then you can make a bank account through Brex or Mercury, and you can use the address that they'll give you at My Company Works or Inkfile or whatever service you use. And that's it. You should be all set up. But yeah, I agree as well with what people are saying. Just do it. Don't overcomplicate it. Just do it. Take any of the ideas from my channel and just run with it. Actually, I will show you something I'm working on for you guys for free. That's going to be really cool. So a lot of you guys, you watch my case studies. You see that I do case studies all the time on different brands, different things going on, and trying to, learn as much as I can and pass it on. And sometimes people say, hey, Ari, I remember watching this video from you, but I don't remember which one it was. Like, can you link it for me? And I realize it's because my thumbnails are very similar. My titles are very similar. So it's actually hard to know which video was from what store. So what we're doing is we're actually categorizing all of my videos, right? All of my case study videos. We're putting the brand name, we're putting the brand URL, their social media URLs, and then the YouTube video that I made breaking it down. So this will be like a course basically in itself. We're going to put the similar web traffic on there, the industry, the overall niche, and then we're going to put the Google Trends behind the niche as well, so that you can know whether or not it's a booming trend or not a booming trend. And this is going to be filled up with like 200 different ones, because I've made over 200 case study videos on my channel. But this is going to be pretty cool. I think it'll be a fun little asset for people to use alongside my channel. It'll be cool. Let's keep watching this though. This is pretty interesting.
To trying to find new devs, realizing that our first lead dev couldn't perform, and then realizing that now there's an investigation going on.
But you have to understand that it's not simple. I mean, he's trying to bridge the gap here between protecting his client, protecting a project that he's been a part of, getting out whatever information is possible. I've said this a million times. The internet loves to oversimplify very fucking complex issues.
On top of the complex issue that we dealt with, which were issues with people, the blockchain technology, and this is something that's brand new, and what Logan ideated in his head of a really cool idea is actually somewhat complex.
Which is, by the way, hard for me to swallow.
Okay, and
I have a vision and an
hard.
idea of these things, and then I say, Jeff, here's what I want to make. Here's what I want to do. And then people are put in place to attempt to make that happen. And when it was found out that either A, they had ill intent, or B, were incapable of doing it, and then shit really hit the fan, what do I do?
Well, you take accountability. So he just said it right there. I have an idea. I say, hey, let's do this. Somebody finds the team, and then it all blows up. And then what do I do? Well, you take accountability, because that's your project. So that's the thing that's a little bit shocking about this right now, is just how he doesn't see that even though the people under him were the ones that screwed him over, they were a part of his team. And if it's his team and his project and he's the leader, he is accountable. I don't know why he doesn't see that, but maybe he will throughout this interview, hopefully.
I actually have an answer for that. When you're on the top rope at WWE and you're going like this after a crazy show and the audience is going crazy, when you're bringing Prime into the table and people are drinking it, being like, how the fuck is this product this good? when you're doing these absolute, like, we're watching a superhero kill these side quests day after day after day after day, none of these quests would be completed without your team. And when you win, we celebrate together. What I need this team to start doing is when you guys take a dip, you got to stop pointing the fingers at each other.
When all this broke, when we were in
Facts.
I'll kind of
This is very edited as well. You can see that George will make a good point and then they skip to somebody else talking. Like, this sucks that they don't take him seriously because he seems to be having the best ideas here, to be honest with you. It seems like he just gets it. It seems like he just gets it. Everyone else is just like very hard-headed about this topic, but if you boil it down to its most simple fundamental form is that he needs to take accountability. He was the leader and stop pointing fingers like he just said.
Day. And I saw the pain in your, and this, like I said, this is not going to turn into a fucking victim thing. I just want to point this out. I saw this pain in your face, bro, and this like emptiness in your fucking eyes when all this was breaking. And I remember thinking to myself, having been through a couple things very minor in comparison to the ones you've gone through and are going through now, where I was railroaded by the internet on something that just simply wasn't true. I've been through a chunk of shit in my life, but I honestly don't know if I recall feeling like that. The feeling of not being able to say, yo, this is not what happened. You guys have it wrong. Even though you and everyone around you knows that you're being fucked and being railroaded by an incomplete or unsubstantiated story is one of the most painful fucking things in the entire world. It's terrible.
Where Coffee fucked up is by targeting me as some malicious, evil supervillain. If he had told this story objectively and told the story without vilifying me, regardless, we're still making this right. But in my opinion, that's where it got twisted and hurt the most. Dude.
I feel that. I do understand where he's coming from, but that's why this isn't an appropriate response, in my opinion, because it's like he's just taking it very personal, which of course you're going to take something like this personal, but he should be able to step away from his like ego, right? And say, okay, yeah, he painted me out to be a villain, but but in his head, he's like, I'm going to sue him. He should be like, okay, maybe there's a reason for this. Maybe I should have communicated with my community as this was going on, even though there was legal issues. I should have communicated something, because you can always say something, even if, investigations are undergoing, right? I mean, I don't know. I've never been in any sort of legal trouble like that, but I would imagine that if your community is involved, you can keep them up to date on some things. Like, even if you just mention some bad things happen, guys, I'm sorry, we're working through it. But that's not what's going on. Truth is hard to swallow. Yeah, it is. I'm going to start a rug project, Crypto Zoo Yacht Club, screw ecom. Yeah, that sounds like a easy 5 million. I'm just kidding. But yeah, very interesting stuff. I mean, this is some interesting psychology going on.
I'm sitting in the seat solely because of my fans. I love them. I'll take any picture you want, unless I'm at dinner. That's my one rule. I'll take any picture you want.
Now you better get your ass up. You better wipe your face and get up. That might be the rule.
I'll listen to the feedback. I'll see it. I want to put smiles on you guys' faces. It's why I do what I do. I love being able to come on these platforms and express myself every week. And it fucking hurts that mission statement that I've had since I was 8 fucking years old posting online was tainted by this dude who had an agenda, who is normally very good at his job, but had an agenda.
I think this is sadly
he's normally good at his job, but now when he attacks me, now he's terrible at his job. This guy sucks. There's just like a clear error in judgment there because he's personally attacked, which I do understand. I mean, I don't know what I would do in this situation, and I'm sure emotions would run high if you were in his seat. But with that said, I still think this is the wrong approach. Okay, somebody said, I'm trying to be annoying, or I'm trying not to be annoying. What would happen hypothetically if someone started a dropshipping business, not legal, then making like 10K a month? Is there a way to clean it or something? Well, I mean, if you're outside of the country, you probably be fine. And I don't know, but people have gotten screwed up. I mean, we're seeing this trend of people getting exposed on their scams is like very prevalent right now. A lot of people have been getting exposed on dirt that they've been building up for years, as even in the e-com space. I mean, I haven't made that many videos about it, but maybe I should, because it is quite interesting and it does set a good example as to why you should never try to create an illegal business. Like, that should never be your intention. And second of all, why you got to be extra careful with the claims, that because that's where people are getting screwed, is the claims that they make. It's not even like the, slow shipping times or whatever, like copying a competitor. It's not even that. People are getting screwed because they're selling stuff on their store that people are not actually receiving. That is obviously illegal. And you should not do that, right? So that's a big thing. But I love what people are doing, and a really clean approach is just to literally order your products. Like, take it a little bit slower, order all your products that you're thinking of selling. And the reason why that's also beneficial is because you can then create content with it. So then you can actually create a business and create a content strategy. Do normal dropshipping stores selling normal products get swept up? Nah, man. No. There's so many. I mean, dropshipping is such a good business model to get started, to get a business up and running, because you can test so many different things without the repercussion of ordering a ton of stock. But yeah, you just can't be scamming people. Kevin Zhang, for example, yeah, he's a big one. I believe his thing was that he was pretending to sell genuine leather products when in fact it was fake leather. And he did this at scale. He made like 20 million doing this or something. So yeah, that's an issue, because you're lying about what you're selling. What if the supplier sends the wrong thing, or the supplier was the one lying? Look, I mean, at a small scale, this is not going to affect you. If things like that's happened to me before, where I was selling a product. Like when I was first starting to dropship, I would sell a product, and then I'd realize, like, I'd sell like 10 units, and people would be like, wait, this sucks. Like, this isn't what I thought I was getting. And I would just stop selling that, right? But that's not gonna affect you, right? Like, that's different. But it's when people scale something like that up, like knowingly, like after let's say 50 orders, you're gonna know whether or not people at the very least enjoy your product, and these people, like, they would make $1 million, see that people hated the product, it was not what they expected, but their ads were still doing good, so then they just keep it, like, they scale it up. That's the problem, is they scale up a shitty business like that to 10 million, 20 million, 30 million, and then yeah, they don't think it comes back to bite them. But then a couple of years go by, and they get investigated, and they get sued, or in legal trouble. So that's the problem, and that's why I'm saying, don't be afraid to dropship. Like, just do it, but obviously fix things quickly as you go, and don't go in it with the mindset of scamming people, and you'll be fine.
Direction you could take this really fucking hard on the chin, learn from your mistakes, learn that you have to.
I mean, George, we did.
No, I know, that's what I'm saying. So it's kind of like the Johnny Depp thing. Like, he had to kind of eat shit for a long time until the truth came out. And so right now you have to go into this either court, but regardless, the jury is the audience.
Yep.
And so I'm trying to bridge that way to show your reality. And your reality is the same dude that would turn to me and drop a $500,000 deal with somebody because he goes, I don't eat fast food. I'm not promoting fast food. So if you were money hungry, you wouldn't give a fuck if it was hurting anybody. You would take the money.
Dog. It is shocking to me that motherfuckers think I'm out here in Puerto Rico with a cork board, tacks, string, graphic images, going, here's how we're gonna scam. This is how I'm gonna make my $1 million this time, motherfucker. I'm not even.
Sounds
gonna
like
do
a
it 'cause
meat- sounds like a meat- no, it sounds like a
'cause
meat
it's
It's
gonna
gonna
candy.
be clipped.
it's gonna get
Logan
clipped.
Paul admits to everything
But
Coffeezilla said.
bro, Jake, I was talking to Jake about this over Christmas break. I'm glad I got some time to spend with my brother. And he's like, I was like, are you aware of what's happening right now? He goes, dude, I skipped past the videos. Like, I know you didn't fucking scam anyone. And I go, yeah, but like, everyone thinks I did.
Well, this is what I see, and I could be completely wrong. Biting off more than you chew is kind of almost there, but I don't see it being complete because you're doing things that people don't do. So I don't expect you to stop doing what your nature is to do, and you want to see that new country that's not there or build that thing that's not there. The only thing that would just make a tweak of a difference is you're so creative that you're like, here's the idea, here's the process, here's the vision. Now this person's gonna do this, person's gonna do this. I'm gonna move on, and you're a creative. So all I would say is now is just like those the dev team. Pick one person that is your right hand and make sure that that person is every day. If this guy shits or eats a sandwich at lunch, I want to fucking know.
I mean, George, again, we did.
But see, this is my problem. Why does he do this? He just like doesn't listen to George. He's just like every time George says a really great point and telling him exactly what he needs to do to make the audience happy. Like that's how I feel now. It's like I just want to hear him say, yes, I hired the shittiest devs in the world. I, screwed up creating this business and like putting the people together. It's my fault. I'm sorry. That's all he needs to say. But every time George says that, he's like, but George, we did that. And we also got scammed and blah, blah, blah. But it's like, bro, just take accountability. This was your team. And sure, they scammed you, but you put them there, right?
It's part of the reason originals worked so well.
Mm.
We found the guy, and he's fucking
Team.
good. And we found a team that we can actually rely on to get
Trust,
things done.
most important.
And then
trust.
also that was a learning process for me because originals is a relatively easy project. I think it's easy to understand, anyways, right?
Yeah.
One picture
not
goes
easy build.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. One picture goes
So
live a day. It's a
complex.
24-hour auction. The next goes up. This thing took months to build, and there were so many delays, and I was frustrated with the build. But
Again.
as is always going to be the case,
Sure,
Jeff,
I'd
because
take it.
I'm reporting directly
I'd
to you,
take
and
it.
you're reporting directly to
Of
me.
course. But it's
But
that's
it
the
was
learning.
it was a learning for me in that. Fuck, dude, tech is hard. Holy fucking shit! I remember ESPN was down the one time we were trying to watch
Thanks
one of
for
the
remembering it.
one of the biggest fights ever.
No.
What?
Tennis.
Oh, the
US Open.
US Open.
US Open. ESPN was down. ESPN Plus or whatever the fuck. And Jeff goes, "Hey, just so you know, this is ESPN. It's one of the biggest content syndication organizations in the world, and they don't even have this shit down."
But we also
here
don't,
we
also
are.
don't know whether it was the tech that was sending it into ESPN or was it ESPN?
The point is, tech is hard. Tech is hard. I realized that and learned that the hard way. And so, yeah, I guess to kind of answer your question, I'm a bit more, a lot more cognizant now of exactly how hard it is to make the stupid little visions that I have in my head come to life.
Okay, so wrapping this up for at least I think, right? For now. Cause I'm just curious what else is there's going to be about this, like where this goes, where the story goes
Yeah.
once it's been determined that there was not malintent, a scam did not take place.
I
There
know.
there was
His
a-
points always get dismissed. Like he just totally dismissed his points and moved on to something else where I mean it's just like I don't know. It just seems dumb. And it seems like they don't take him seriously, even though he's saying like the real stuff that he needs to hear. It's like going in one ear and coming out of the other.
a misfire or some sort of, malpractice on behalf of some of the people involved in the
I feel like
project
maybe
will
we've
be held
watched enough.
accountable.
I don't
And there
know.
is a
It
plan
seems like this
moving
isn't going to
forward.
change.
Does it sound like those are the four main pillars of what's happening here?
Exactly. I would say there's been a plan moving forward.
A roadmap.
Yeah. CoffeeZilla happened to make this series, and
In the middle of it.
and now it appears reactionary, but this has been happening. So that's where the defamation piece comes into play, which is number 5. and 6. We've given Zilla part 4. He's probably going to milk the shit out of this. He's probably going to talk to more people who lost money. And that's where this also gets tricky, because I'm not sure what he's fabricating, or if people are genuine about what they're saying, because he doesn't verify backgrounds or, like I said, substantiate any evidence. So he's probably gonna put people who have lost here on a pillar and highlight them. That's what I would do if I were him. I'd milk the shit out of this, and like I said, he's probably going to. He's good. He's very good. But part 6 is, the more he says and the more he continues to spread this misinformation that this was any sort of con or scam, the more I have for the lawsuit that I am filing. The defamation lawsuit. That is fucking happening. This is wrong. This is fucking wrong. And there's a reason. There's a reason he won't come on this show. And he knows it's because he can't lie to me with his chest out while sitting in front of me.
And saying that you are a scammer.
Fuck,
You are a fraud.
dog.
What about the people that say, like, why don't you just do it live on his platform?
I am not feeding into this anymore on his shit,
Mm.
because he did not change the course of my direction.
I know he won't do a one-on-one because he won't lie to me. Well, why don't you do a one-on-one with him? I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna feed into it. That just doesn't make any sense. Okay, I think we can wrap it up here, honestly. I feel like we don't need to watch any more of this. We can move on to some more interesting things like AI. Oh yeah, I like this video. Yeah, I don't want to keep watching that. It's just going to make me mad. This guy just cannot take accountability for anything. So there's some cool AI tools that I've been finding. So let me change the topic here of the video. Let me go to, so this is how I've been making my thumbnails, by the way. It's actually maybe interesting to some of you guys. I will go like here, and then I will go like this, and then yeah. Thank you guys for being patient though. Like, you know, we watched a lot of that and we learned nothing and we just got pissed off. So that was absolutely worthless. I'm actually really happy that I did that on stream now and not just spent my own, like, you know, my own time by myself watching that. This is, you know, much better. At least I got to share my frustrations with you guys as well. So yeah, we'll move on to some AI stuff because this is way more fun and way more relevant to us, I think. So chat. No, let's do, can you use AI for thumbnails? Yeah, you actually can. But I don't. So I'll use this one. I'm just trying to make a thumbnail. Oh, oops. How do I full screen this? Yeah, thank you guys for sticking around. So if you haven't left yet, please drop a quick like on the video. We're gonna keep going. I want to explore some AI tools. I just gotta change the background of this so that it's not Logan Paul anymore. But that was just, oh man, that hurt my soul watching that. This is such a dumb way to make a thumbnail, but it's fine. It works. I'm gonna be like, ooh. Okay. Oops. Sorry, guys. I'm having technical difficulties. Boom. There it is. That's the thumbnail we were looking for. Boom. Okay. Perfect. Yeah, you're getting a glimpse of it behind the scenes. You really are. 10 out of 10 on the surprise phase. Thanks, guys. That's actually what I needed. Let me just, so I'll go over here. I do want to watch this video, watch some of these tools, because this is from November 18th. I actually like the ones that are a little older, because it just shows me that these people have been on this. I've actually seen some people coding some ChatGPT stuff like almost like a year ago. So coders are just gonna rule the world in the next 5 years or so. Okay, let me change the thumbnail of this video and title. I don't like this anymore. I'll name this "These AI Tools Are Unreal." Or will change your life. Okay, we're good. So hopefully we get some new viewers in here that are interested in this stuff. I'm testing out streaming. I know it's kind of a tricky thing here. So this is some AI tools for designers, but as a Shopify store owner, you are also a designer by default, in my opinion, because you have to design different things when it comes to your business. So let's actually, so there's two videos I wanted to watch. This and the Alex Hormozi video. So I'm actually going to exit this. People asked me to watch this in my Discord. So shout out to all you people in the Discord. So let's watch this. Let's watch this as a squad. All right, everybody. So we're about to watch Get Rich in the AI Revolution by Alex Hormozi. This is a viral video right now, over 1 million views, and hopefully it's going to shed some light on AI, which I'm already feeling behind on, even though I've been researching this stuff for a couple months now. So I can only imagine how some of you feel. So let's try to get caught up.
On November 30th of 2022, the world changed forever. Artificial intelligence, or AI, became accessible to the public for free through a tool called ChatGPT.
ChatGPT,
which stands for Generative Pre-trained Transformer.
a robot you can talk to.
that you can log on to and have a conversation with.
And it went from 0 to 1 million users in 5 days, which is the fastest any platform has gotten to 1 million users.
Damn.
It took Facebook 2 years, it took Instagram 2 years, it took Pinterest 4 months, and it took Angry Birds 35 days. I think that it has the potential to unravel the very fabric of capitalism itself and what it means for us as individuals. And a little bit later in the video, I'm going to tell you how you can capitalize on this to 10x how much you make, rather than being afraid of it in the short term and curling up in a ball and putting your head in the sand and like hoping it goes away. It's here, and it's only going to get more dangerous and powerful. So there's 5 major areas that I think it's going to completely turn on its head. Number one is the nature of work itself. The second is how businesses operate. The third is the economy overall. The fourth is how we interrelate with one another on a romantic setting, how we choose mates, how we seduce, how we have sex, all of that stuff. And finally, the nature of life itself and how it actually extends to interplanetary life, and whether or not aliens exist here on Earth. I'm not a big woo-woo tin hat guy, but I think if you actually think through the logic, there's some really alarming conclusions that you can come to.
Yeah, I think I know where he's going to go with this. I'm really excited to hear Alex Hormozi talk about this, because these are some existential topics here, which I'm very glad to introduce to the channel. You know, we talk about Shopify and e-commerce a lot, but what about human existence? I'm just kidding, but let's watch.
AI is going to be the biggest shift in our lifetime. It is the equivalent, in my opinion, of the moon landing, except the only difference is that it will actually change all of our lives rather than just being a picture to say that we won the Cold War. Different than the internet, phone systems, television, because what those did was they reshuffled the workforce. This has the ability to remove or eliminate the workforce altogether. Cryptocurrencies in general had the potential to overturn the financial institution. AI is the potential to overturn the human institution.
I try to convince people to slow down AI, to regulate AI. I tried for years.
You don't know who I am or you're new to the channel, my name is Alex Hormozi. I'm the founder of Acquisition.com. We're a portfolio of companies that does over
Ooh, is that a new logo? That looks clean.
$200 million a year, and I make these videos so that you can use them and make lots and lots of money, and hopefully you become a company between $3 and $100 million, and we can invest in your business and help you scale beyond that. So in order for us to productively talk about AI, to understand what the terms we're actually talking about are. AI is a type of technology that helps machines or computers do things that normally need a human brain to do. Stuff like learning, solving problems, making decisions, and understanding what we see or hear. The thing that made the release on November 30th so wild is that ChatGPT democratized access to AI for the first time because it had an interface that we could all use, chat. They created a massive language model that allowed it to understand our prompts and queries and be able to translate that into machine speak, get the answer, and then retranslate it back to us in human speak. That is what made it so powerful, because now all of us can use it. Right now, ChatGPT spits out words, sentences, paragraphs, articles, and even entire books. It can write legal documents, it can write sales scripts, it can write video scripts. The list is literally endless. I asked it the other day to write a cold email to a plumbing company for marketing SEO services, and it spit it out. And then I said, cool, make it funnier and shorter. Spit out another version. And I said, great, turn it into a text message. Did it. Turn it into a tweet storm. Did it. It's difficult to comprehend the extent of it because it's only really limited by our ability to ask the right questions, which I'll get to later because it's going to be very important in terms of how you choose to use AI.
That's what this is showing me more than anything, is how idea people are becoming increasingly important. It's not necessarily about knowing that this thing exists. It's about knowing how to use it, like what to ask it is more important, which is really crazy.
As the output. But we understand other things. We can interpret images, we can interpret videos, and we can interpret sounds. And the crazy thing is that AI can do that too. So OpenAI also runs DALL-E, which is an image engine generator. And so if I said, hey, give me a guy smoking a cigar, looking over a beach where there's a dragon. Now make it in Van Gogh painting style. Crazy. Now make me 10 versions of that. Now, if you think about the nature of what a video is, back in the day, it was used to be a flip book.
Yeah, that's
You'd
gonna
take
cause
images,
some
they'd
issues.
flip the pictures, and then you'd have a video because we can't tell the difference at past a certain speed. And so if it can make images, then if it makes lots of images in a row, it can make video.
Yeah, I actually think this is a good point here. Is I wonder how long it's gonna take before some of the top songs that we hear on the radio, for example, or the top movies are just created by AI. I don't think as long as we think. I think maybe even in the next like 5 years, we'll see some, AI produced films. That'll be interesting. I mean, that would be perfect for a company like Disney, right? Like that's going to help them streamline their ideation process to a whole new level. That's interesting. I hadn't really thought about that too much.
But on top of that, if it has the words and it can make the video, it can also make the sounds. In the very near future, those will merge. And to the same degree, the inputs being text or verbal will also merge. This is the reason Elon Musk has been such a big proponent of Neuralink. He wants to take it a factor further. Rather than be limited by our ability to speak or our ability to type, he wants it to be limited by our ability to think. Now that may sound like science fiction, but it's already here. Many of us were alive during the first iPhone launch. Now we're on iPhone 14 or 15 or whatever it's on now. What we see today is our first version that we can see. ChatGPT 100 is going to be significantly more advanced and will be able to input and output on demand any of these things the way we want them. The next important milestone is when AI actually enters the physical world. Elon revealed the Tesla bot. The thing is that that's what it is today. Again, like the iPhone, in many machine generations, which happen faster than human generations, that will be able to look exactly like a human. And it will definitely, if you look at Boston Dynamics, there's robots that actually function better than humans, that have longer arms, that are much stronger and can jump and don't need to sleep, and won't have sexual complaints, blah, 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 blah. Once those machine generations happen on robotics and on the AI
Is that the biggest
side,
thing with humans? Our biggest flaw is sexual complaints? I wonder. What do you guys think? This is all so interesting, though. Wow. I mean, the future is coming at us really fast, and I'm glad to be able to learn in public with you guys and hopefully get us all caught up to speed with what's going on. This does seem a lot like the NFT hype, but this actually has substance behind it. So we'll see where this ends up, you know, where we'll be at in like 5 years after all this. I think this is only going to get faster and faster, but well, let's see.
We'll reach a point where there's superintelligence. And superintelligence is defined as where the AI itself is smarter than all humans put together.
I think it takes like unique human arrogance to believe that AI cannot supersede humans.
At that point, the world will change significantly. This is where access to the superintelligence will become the most valuable resource on planet Earth. For example, if I were to say, hey, build me $1 trillion company, it could in real time write the code for the product, write the scripts for the ads, generate the videos for the ads, directly interface with the media buying, place the ads where it already knows where the targeted audience is, push those targeted audience.
Well, that's actually what Facebook is like right now, and Google and TikTok to a lesser degree, but still very much so, is machine learning. That's how you run ads, is by using machine learning on these platforms, and then it'll learn and find the best customers at the best price for your business. So the fact of the matter is we've already been using a lot of AI, and I'm actually really curious to see these companies like Google, Apple, Facebook, or Meta rather, soon start introducing their own AI products, because I'm 100% sure that they've been working on stuff behind the scenes that we have no idea about, that are just going to completely revolutionize everything. I'm very excited to see that.
Audience's eyes to landing pages that it had built with scripts and videos that it had built, and then transact, all from a single prompt. Who determines who gets the access will be a really important question for the future. The second is what will govern the types of prompts and queries that we can ask it. So if we said, how do I wipe out the entire human race for less than $100,000? We don't want it really answering questions like that. There's going to have to be some regulation around this, because the thing is, that's a lot of power.
Well, there already is regulation around it. If you, I mean, like, just like how he showed, ChatGPT won't answer everything, but you can sneak around certain topics. I've done it. Like, if you want to go through its, you know, flag system, you just have to get a little bit tricky and creative with the questioning. But that is a good point. I mean, hopefully, I'm sure OpenAI is already in conversations with the government, or at least some sort of authoritative entity to and like discussing these issues, because these are very important things to address.
1,000 times the rate of innovation. It would be the same as having all innovations between the period of enlightenment and today happen next year. And so that gives way to the last step in the AI evolution, which is the singularity. The singularity is a hypothetical future point in which technological progress and artificial intelligence will advance to the point where humanity will undergo a transformation beyond which it cannot be seen.
The first truly intelligent machine will be the last invention that humanity needs to make.
Many people postulate that that's the point where it will become either self-aware, it will start to make its own decisions and ignore us. Well, it won't really want to kill us because it has no reason to, for the same reason that we don't want to kill ants, but if we build a highway, we destroy some anthills. So it's just gonna do what it's gonna do.
Some robots will eat some jobs, and some robots will kill humans. You've already seen that with self-driving cars. But when you look at the trend as a whole, I think it's gonna be incredibly positive for humanity.
This is why Elon and Sam Altman and those guys are trying to align our goals of humanity with the goals of the AI. It's the only really productive thought process we can have, because we can sit here and be afraid, but I don't think we're gonna stop the technological progress. Even if they banned it, knowing how the internet is and knowing how black hat coders, etc. are, I have a hard time believing that they will be able to stop it, because the thing is, this will be the equivalent of having the new nuclear bomb of this century or this millennia.
If humanity collectively decides that creating digital superintelligence is the right move, then we should do so very, very carefully. This is the most important thing that we could possibly do.
That's all pie in the sky stuff. Let's talk about day-to-day, let's talk about business.
Yeah.
So to frame this conversation, I think you have to watch this clip, because it will make everything I'm about to say make sense. So this is from Google, and this is from 4 years ago, their personal assistant AI. And they haven't released this to the public, which is weird.
So how can I help you? Hi, I'm calling to book a women's haircut for a client. I'm looking for something on May 3rd. Sure, give me
That's
one.
crazy that it said That's insane to me. The fact that AI was like, that is nuts. So some of you guys are saying those who own the tech will thrive and those who don't will struggle to stay alive because AI will be huge. That's why you want to own some type of AI. True, or at the very least, you want to integrate AI into your business to make it more streamlined and therefore more competitive. Only bad thing with ChatGPT right now is that it's based on everything 2021 and behind that 2022. True, but this is like people have been saying, this is the very beginning. You know, this is like the first. This is like ChatGPT in its infancy, right? So we'll see what happens then, and that's why AI data companies are so valuable right now. Like the youngest billionaire, his company is called Scale AI, and what it does is it categorizes data for AI to learn better. So that's exactly why those companies are so valuable, like you said. That's a good point. And then lastly, next 10 years are going to be wildly transformative for humanity. Remember the days when people were skeptical about what the World Wide Web can do or reach? I know. I mean, at one point, people thought the internet was like a scam. So you're right. Look at how fast it's all going. This is the exponential era. That's what this reminds me of. It's everything is starting to go exponential.
First name is Lisa. Okay, perfect. So I will see Lisa at 10 o'clock on May 3rd. Okay, great. Thanks. Great. Have a great day. Bye.
That's the baseline. That was 4 years ago. Now imagine it was a sales call and we have sales AI that's listened to 10 million sales calls. This is the types of things that these people say in these situations. I will say the same thing. And then it iterates and learns over and over again. The AI can live 1 million lifetimes in terms of the amount of volume it can churn through and process and learn from compared to a human. So the best sales guy is gonna have this much experience compared to the best AI sales guy. And so if it can have those calls 24 hours a day in real time to whatever prospect you want, you may even imagine a world where you ask the phone teller, hey, are you a human? And when they say, no, I'm AI, you're relieved because you're like, thank God, I'm talking to the best version of this who can handle my problem right now. So if you were to have asked people, what jobs do you think AI will replace first? Most people said first it'll replace the low skilled jobs, the physical labor, and then it'll be the low skilled white collar jobs, and then it'll be the high skilled white collar jobs like programmers and coders, and then finally maybe it'll replace the creative jobs. But what's interesting is that it actually happened in the reverse order. If you're a copywriter, this has serious implications for you. A logo designer, this has serious implications for you. Customer service, 24 hours a day, in real time, immediate feedback. What happens to all the physicians? It becomes immediate and more accurate for us to have access to a medical AI from our homes. And it can see us because it can interpret data visually too. If you're in finance, it will be able to take all of the raw data and realign it and put it into beautiful Excel sheets.
You can actually create financial models based on AI that are pretty better than human ones, even like trading bots.
A friend of mine has a father who's a medical malpractice attorney. He asked it to write an argument for why malpractice should not be capped in terms of how much a lawyer can make on a malpractice suit. And then it outlined an entire argument for why it should be uncapped. It happened to be almost identical to the argument that he had after 40 years of experience. You see videos like this, you see all these people on YouTube, you see Instagram posts. Well, what if the AI reads every single Instagram post of all time and ranks them by highest performing, and then merge that with video and deepfakes? We will have pundits and influencers that don't exist. Imagine you could—
We actually already do. A lot of people have, we've talked about this before about VTubers or these like generative celebrities. It's happened already. It's like mainly the artists. So he's right. This is funny how it actually worked backwards. Creatives are actually the ones being, made obsolete first almost. It's weird.
Create the perfect celebrity or the perfect spokesperson or the perfect porn star. And with deepfakes, they can work 24 hours a day, say exactly what you want, and what they say has the perfect tone and made to just stimulate the shit out of our dopamine centers. And we're just gonna be plugged in because it knows what we like better than we do. If you don't believe me, go to thispersondoesnotexist.com and just keep refreshing it and it will show you new people. Now, if you remember earlier, a video is made of multiple images put together back to back to back. If it can make an image of a real person, it can make many images of real people. If it can make many images of real people, it can make a video of a real person. And then we'll have questions of verification. Did President Biden say that? Did President Trump say that? Or is it a deepfake? The blue check mark will take on an entirely new meaning in the very near future. Now, those are just a few use cases, but anywhere humans are, it will disrupt. If you are connected to the AI, you can input faster and you can get information back faster because you're not limited by your digits. This will be the next order of magnitude in terms of output and value that individuals will be able to create in the economy. I do think that there's a chance that capitalism as a system for society may be overturned. You're going to have a huge cost basis that's going to be eliminated. So things may
I don't think it's going to be overturned, but I think it's going to be modified greatly in taking on a lot of socialist ideas, right? And it's not really because that's the right thing to do, but it's just because, like he's maybe going to say, we're just going to be in a surplus of output with less input. So it's like people will for sure have the opportunity to just not work if they don't want to and be able to still claim money from companies or the government just for the work that AI is doing. I totally see a future where that's the case. And that's not really capitalism. That looks more like socialism, but you need capitalism to get there. Therefore, it is capitalism. It's just going to be a modified version. Very interesting stuff going on.
Cheaper. But at the same time, the money that would have gone to those people that's going to go into the economy won't be there. The point is that I think there will be significant changes to capitalism overall. Now, one of the nice things, Sam Altman, who's the CEO, they have actually been undergoing the largest UBI study, so Universal Basic Income study, as a result concurrently with this technology.
I didn't know
this.
He
knows what they're making.
We're going to have an opportunity to push the reset button and think about the world we want. And I think universal basic income is one part of that.
He knows the impact it's going to have. Now, in the short term, we'll be able to harness this. And this is what I think will foster in, at least in the short term, a golden age for humanity in terms of what we're going to be able to accomplish scientifically. I believe that we will be able to achieve nuclear fusion. Fusion is renewable, clean energy for everyone. When you reconstruct the energy infrastructure upon which all of society is laid upon, it changes everything. And so in a very real way, this will be a more significant change or revolution in humanity, in my opinion, than the Industrial Revolution, which changed everything. But let's talk about a very different topic. Let's talk about romance. This is where, in my opinion, it gets a little bit scary. The bottom tier.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm also certain, or 95% confident that porn is probably going to be the biggest sector that people focus on for the next 10 years or so, which is unfortunate, but it's just the nature of human beings, I guess. So at the beginning, when he said our biggest issue is sexual complaints and AI doesn't have that, he's actually right. Wow. Full circle moment.
Society have a harder time getting mates, girls or guys. Imagine if we've studied
Actually, sorry, somebody said something. This is going to be really scary, meaning there might be horrible situations like not knowing what is real or fake. That is true. But think about how the internet works right now. I mean, if you're on TikTok and you scroll the algorithm, like for a long time, the algorithm will start feeding you things that it knows you're gonna like, whether it's real information or not. And I mean, the media outlets have already been spreading a lot of misinformation for a while, and even creators, right? Like, that's why you do have to give the platform some sort of credit for being able to handle misinformation in some way, shape, or form. I know a lot of people don't like hearing that, especially in the red pill communities, but like, you do need some sort of person regulating misinformation. Otherwise, everybody's making content about whatever and spreading fake news that could be very detrimental to a group of people, for example. So that is a very tricky subject, and that is going to be scary, but it's also scary now, like that is happening right now. There's so much misinformation, and there's not really a good way to stop it.
million Tinder conversations.
Education is the only solution.
Probably called First Date AI. That can AI from first convo all the way to the date getting set. So let's take it a step further. We have the phone version of this, and you can hear a voice that has been tuned to your preferences of the exact type of voice that you want to hear, that talks to you and listens to you like the kind heart that they are, and they don't care that you talk too much and you only talk about yourself. And when you say these weird things, they just let it go. Because we think we're more complicated than we are, but we really just have inputs that our brain interprets from an electrical signal and then assigns meaning to. And once you know the inputs, you just hit the buttons. And that's what it will learn how to do. Now we fall in love with robots. Take it a step further. The Tesla bot, 5 generations, 10 generations from now, looks like a human, and now has that in the brain. What happens when the robot humans are more attractive, more loving, more caring, more considerate, and cheaper than a spouse? Before I explain how you can maximally use this to make the most money and live the best life in the short term based on the skills that we have today, indulge me for one more moment because I think it's really profound and I think it's going to change the way you see the world. Let's talk about aliens.
Oh, pull it up, Jamie.
Joe Rogan and many people have talked about alien technology and like, what if there was a UFO that was captured, all that kind of stuff. So let's put a pin in that. Play this out with me. When humans want to explore the universe, what do we send first? We send Mars rover. We send a robot, right? Right. If aliens are further ahead of us, then it means that they probably have AI. If they're going to send something, they would probably send a robot. Why? Because a robot doesn't need to eat, it can live for a very long time, and it can survive in harsher, different climates than biology can. On top of that, it can work on itself, whereas biology cannot. So aliens might be here, but not necessarily in their physical form, but in their AI form. Because if we can create robots that perfectly clone humans, so can they. And that may be who they sent, or what they sent, to check out what we're doing. AI would be the perfect thing to send to another planet, because up to this point, when we send something, it takes 5 years for it to reach whatever planet it's on. And so by the time it's there, it's really old technology. And so it makes sense that you'd want to send something that is completely adaptable and can rewrite its own code. Space exploration may be done by AI more than it is done by humans, because this stuff, our
That makes
flesh,
so much
we're
sense.
super easy to kill. But the AI can live super cold, super hot, no oxygen, lots of oxygen, it's good. And once we solve fusion with it, it won't even need the sun. Which leads to one question about life itself. If we define death as the inability to receive inputs, so like when you die, you can't receive inputs anymore. And we define personality as the conglomerate of our actions and behaviors as a result of our past experiences, then if I were to upload my thoughts and behaviors and past experiences, how I talk, how I speak, how I think, etc., into a cloud drive, and then it were able to pass the Turing test, everybody I know couldn't tell whether it was me or a robot version of me, then is it me? And if that thing can now go travel planets, is it humans that are traveling to planets, or is it an AI cyborg version of humans?
Cyborg is more the question or the answer there, and that's totally, reasonable that would happen. I mean, if you think about consciousness and like your brain, it's basically like electrical signals, right? So it's not that crazy to think that you could upload that to a computer and put that into like a the robot that can live basically forever, right? And then you kind of live forever through that. But I don't know. I'm sure there's some sort of thing that just prevents that thing from actually being you. I don't know what it is, but like, maybe we're talking about like the soul, right? Like maybe there is a soul and like you can't really replicate that. But we'll see. Maybe you can. Like, who knows?
I don't know. Interesting questions. And you're like, okay, Alex, you took me to romance, robot wives, and aliens. How do I make more money today? So the first thing that I would ask is that you adopt the mentality that AI isn't here to replace me, it's here to supercharge me. Why do I say that? Because if you adopt the other one, you might as well just throw in the towel now. You have to embrace change. It's part of humanity. Technology moves, we got to adapt. If AI can condense our inputs, so if I say, hey, go read this book, distill it down and then give it to me, I can now read a book significantly faster. If I say, hey, AI, go summarize all my email and all my Slack messages and predict what I'm going to say, and then all I need to do is validate it, I can do a day's worth of work in a few minutes. I think of ChatGPT and AI of the future as a filter through which we will perceive the world both in and out. Think of it as your home screen. You read everything through AI because it has already distilled it down to the most important nuggets for you. Then in the output side, it makes predictions on what you would say normally, and it continues to get training it better, and then it sends it. We can consume 10 times the information and produce 10 times the output, which is a 100x increase. So that's level one. The next level is the expert level. And these are the people who are losing sleep over being like, oh my God, this thing can now do my job. If you're an expert, what used to take you 90% of your time, which is generating things, you now expand most of your time to using the machine to generate, and then you spend your time doing QA and validating the information, making tweaks. And so in a very real way, using these tools, you become more valuable to the companies that you work for or the clients that you serve.
Yeah, your output is going to be significantly higher.
This video was made entirely by AI, and this is a deep fake. I'm just kidding. But someday, it might be.
Damn, Alex Hormozi snapped on this video. I am happy I watched it. I actually saved this to watch it with you guys, and I'm happy I did. That was super interesting. That was great. He really dissected everything in a really informative way. A lot of categories of things that are actually really relevant, while also still keeping it in the business context. Man, Alex Hormozi's a beast. That was really fun to watch. What did you guys think? Did you enjoy that? I'll probably end up making a video out of it because, I mean, that's just good info, right? That's good stuff for the channel. It's good content. It's a little bit of lazy content, but I mean, I don't think it was. I think I created a transformative piece with my inputs, right? I would argue that that's true. But somebody said Kavizila is reacting tonight to Logan Paul. Dang, that's going to be cool. I'm definitely going to tune into that. If you were doing a manual admin job with paper, then learned about tech, you could have built up being a tech expert and consultant and made it big, and you resisted it. You got left in the dust. Exactly. So you're right, bro. That's what I'm saying is like, the more that we learn about these tools, the more that we can learn how to integrate them into our business and making our business a supercharged business, right? A leaner business. So that's what's going to be my mission for the foreseeable future, is trying to integrate these things into our businesses, so that we don't get left behind, so that we can actually progress with it, as opposed to get swept under the rug like Logan Paul did with his CryptoZoo investors. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this. I had a great time today. This was a fun stream. We got a decent bit of content through it, I'm sure. And, you know, I had a good time. I think we got through a lot of things. We learned a lot together, and I'm excited to do it again soon. Awesome. So, yeah, that's about it. I'll be